Hey, my truth seekers. Happy blessed Sunday. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing great today on this blessed Sunday. Yes, indeed. I see T. Jones was in the house. She said that was a win for me to the interview, but I always like the crazy. But we're going to go ahead and talk about that because when it comes to Marsau do a lot. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about him. Okay. Also, she says that this is her week to go on a vacation. So girl, have a great time. I wanted to go ahead and take a vacation as well. My family going on a vacation, but I'm still under doctor's orders. Okay. And my girl Davita James is in the house saying happy Sunday. Hey Davita, let me see if I dropped the link in case you want to come up because guys, I'm not gonna tell you no lie. When it comes to this episode this week that came on, I'm watching it right now as I'm making this live. I mean, when I did see it Saturday, I fell asleep. It was just that boring. Okay. So I went ahead and dropped the link. David, if you want to go, if you want to come on, you are welcome to come on. So again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and 9 buys. So before I get into my commentary, I know you guys saw I finally gave him some veneers. Okay. Look at those teeth. I mean, this guy is skinning and grinning. My God, we're going to go ahead and talk about this right here. Like I said, all this right here is for entertainment purpose only. You air it out, you are free game. I mean, this guy, I went ahead and put a big old smile on his mouth, but I think he kind of looked good. Come on, Mark. So we need to see the upper part of your teeth because all we see is just the bottom. Go ahead and get you some veneers. I think he looked real good, which I was trying to throw shade, but as I was throwing shade, I think he looks good by smiling. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get all into that right there because I saw the interview that he did over there on Callers King channel, which I think the guy name is Dustin. He went ahead and did the interview. And I'm going to give you my honest opinion when it comes to all that right there. Okay. So let me go ahead and do my disclaimer. My disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Okay, so guys, I got all that out the way. Also, if you feel led to go ahead and cash out me Real Talk 985, you're not obligated to cash out me. But like I said, if you are getting any information or like my point of view, like I said, I try to think out of the box, critical thinking. Go ahead and hit that cash app, Real Talk 95, or better yet, Go ahead and hit like, comment, and share these videos for more unapologetic content. In here is facts over feelings and truth over power. I do not know these people from a can of paint. Okay, you air it out. You are free game. So to me today, happy blessed Sunday to all you guys. Mar- Marcel Scott is in the hot seat. Okay, I think that what he did was he went ahead and he kissing that ring. Okay, I see Lily's pad. Yes, she's in the house. She says, happy. She said, "Hey, real talk with Lady D. Welcome, welcome, Lily Pads. Welcome, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Unapologetic and nine buys. Thank you guys for spending your Sunday with me. This is a blessing. Like I said, in here is grown folks. We meet. We ain't got time to pacify any babies. So I'm gonna see how far I can go. I went ahead and dropped the link. So anyone that wants to come on, you guys are welcome to come on my panel. Okay. I went ahead and dropped the link. So if you want to come on, you are welcome. Okay. So with all that being said, I'm going to talk a bit about this episode. I just don't know too much about it. I'm watching it. Believe it or not, I am watching it as I am talking to you guys. I see where Kimmy and Tisha, they open up with them, which I was so glad, to see something freshness like that. And also, like, oh my God, I love, 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 love Kimmy natural hair. I love her natural hair. Makes me wants to sit there and start putting mines back in. Okay. I love natural hair. Okay. So with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and talk about this interview. This interview when it comes to Marsau. Now, Marsau, he jumped all down Martel's throat about going on bloggers. I don't even care. I don't care if it's Carlos King, and Carlos King is, the CEO of their show. I don't care. Like I said, you talked about Marsau going on platforms and talking to bloggers. That's exactly what you said. And we already know when you go on these platforms, all you doing is feeding these overzealous fans. That's all you doing. Because now you giving them something to talk about. Now, this last night, I think it was like 4 days this morning when I had got up, I saw my notification and I saw the interview that Marsau had did on Carlos King platform. And soon when I went straight to the comments because that's I likes to read the comments. And when I say I saw how people was praising Marsau. Oh, Marsau, you know, uh, he did a good interview. Marsau, oh, I love when he do an interview and how he always telling it like it is. And I love Marsau. When I saw them was lifting them up, let me see if I could. I'm probably erase some of it, but I think you could see right there how they were praising Marsau. I mean, praising him. So I sat there and say, in order for these overzealous fans to come and praise Marsau, Marsau must be kissing the ring. Marsau must be sitting there telling these people what they want to hear. Because I promise you, if Marsau would have went against the grain and start sitting there talking about other people, the first thing they're gonna say, Marsau, oh, I'm going to he's wrong, he's a hater, and they would have sat there and they would have torn him up to pieces. But that's just to show you guys, like I said, when it comes to the love of fame, it is a beast. Okay. I see Lily Pad says, when did they start to love him? Oh my God, go and read some of the comments. Let me see if I can read a few of them. I mean, my God, when I saw this right here, I say, oh my God, Marsau must be kissing the ring. Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna see if I can pull some of it up and read some of the comments. I mean, it was the first thing that I went to, how they were sitting there praising Marsau. So let me see if I can read some of the comments. Okay, this right here. say this was a very good interview with Marcel. It's about time these men start holding Martel accountable for his disgusting action. So right there, when I start reading all the comments and seeing how, they were talking, right there, I knew that something was going on. I say, now what is Marcel? What is Marcel is talking about? And then someone says, well, I'm not gonna read that one. I don't like when people but some of the comments, Marcel made a lot of sense, and some say Marcel made a lot of sense in his reflection on Martel and Stormy and his situation. Marcel, they was just saying a lot of, stuff that they would normally say, especially when, you know, they know that they going against the grain. Okay, so that's what I saw. I saw that right there. So I got a little wrote a little notes down, and I want to go ahead and talk about all that right there. So I wrote some stuff down, so I'm gonna talk about that. But again, guys, welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and nine buys. Okay. Also, Lily Pad said, no, I'm not saying they never seemed to like him on that show. That is, they always drag him in the past. Always drag him in the past. But when he starts sitting there talking about Martel, then they start praising him because he only was talking about what they wanted to hear. Let him would have said something different. I promise you would have saw 101 videos sitting there trying to crucify Marcel. So we're gonna talk about all that. Okay. I see Linda Young. Linda Young say, hey, Lady D and chat. I've been so busy and not able to catch your lives. Just replay. Glad I'm in the live. Thank you very much, Linda. Thank you very much. And guys, happy blessed Sunday. Happy blessed Sunday. I'm so glad that you are here. Starbucks lovers say, welcome everyone to Real Talk with Lady D. So also she said, please hit the like button as you make your way in. Okay. So let's go ahead and start with this interview that Marsau had with Dustin on Callers King platform. Okay. So they open up talking about Kiki. So Marsau talked about Kiki and, all the stuff that is going on, all the stuff that she did to Tisha. And I feel that this is how I felt. Like I say, this is my opinion, guys. We all have a right to our opinion. I felt like Marsau should have never even touched that. I think that Marsau should have talked about all that, with Tisha was right there because after all, that's Tisha's cousin. And that's why they always say certain things about Marsau. But what I didn't like is he kept blaming it on Kiki. And like I said, what Kiki did, yes, she was wrong because Kiki shouldn't have never came on that show and threw a drink in Tisha's face. But also, you can't just blame Kiki because you also have to blame who opened that door for Kiki to come in. Because one thing that we do know that Kiki didn't come in through Tisha. But why they don't never talk about the mastermind, the one that opened that door, knowing that Kiki had addiction, knowing that Kiki was going through some personal stuff in her life. And the only reason why Miss Buddy went ahead and opened up that door because she wanted to get some information about his marriage. But the thing about it, Marsau didn't talk about that. And like I said, guys, in here is Real Talk, unapologetic and nine buys. I'm only going to talk about what's going on. If they don't do it, I'm not going to talk about it. Like I said there and say, I'm team right. I am team right in here. I don't care who you are. I can ride so hard for you. But like I said, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. And I do not think that when it comes to Marsau does not live in a glass house where nobody can throw no rocks at him. That's how I look at it, okay? But let me go ahead and continue talking about it because, see, I didn't like it not one bit. Now my girl TT, she said she loved the what was going on. Like I said, we all have a right to agree to our opinion. That's the uniqueness about this right here. But I also want these people to hold Miss Buddy accountable for some of the things that she have done. And like I said, they never, no way in the world that Marsau should have came on that platform and sat there and threw Kiki, as she's a grown woman, but still of all, Kiki had an addiction. And if truth be told, Kiki is the only one really have a good storyline, because this girl, she went through hell and back. This girl was so high. This girl was a professor uh, at a college. You have to be very smart to be a professor at a college to fall so far. So they didn't give her a chance to sit there and right her wrongs, because Miss Buddy wanted to make it all about her. And that's the part that I don't understand. I just don't understand that part. If you got someone is trying to tear your marriage apart, why you don't talk about it? Why you don't talk about stuff like this? And that's why I sit there and say, when it comes to Martel, I don't know what's going on between Martel and Marsau. Something is going on, but I just don't think that Marsau wants to go that way. And the reason why is because Marsau, he does not live in a glass house. And that's why, people, always sitting there wants to down Tisha because of Marsau thinking that he's the smart one. He got people thinking all this stuff about Tisha. Oh, Tisha weak. Because he felt like long he's in it, he's saying things, then everything is all right. Why don't you sit there and you back off? Back off. When Tisha do something, he wants to correct Tisha. Oh, don't do this, don't do that. But yet you do the same silly stuff. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Lorraine Green says that Maurice don't still don't like, and the Scotty Stormy Martel Destiny. I don't know. But also Starbucks says, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Thank you guys. Thank you, Starbucks. Yes. But I just didn't like the way that Marsau went ahead and he did that interview. I think that, he should have just stayed away, because we don't need to give these people more content or something to talk about, because, we already know that when it comes to Martel, and nobody giving Martel excuse, but we already know the man is already down. So if the man is already down, why are you coming on, sitting there fanning the fire, giving these people more stuff to talk about? Make it make sense. Lorraine says that Martel have something on all the cats. They scared of Martel. Something got to be going on. Something got to be going on, because we already know how when Martel felt with, Maurice with Melody. We already know how he felt, especially when they had met before and they had some kind of discussion when they had met, went to a restaurant or wherever they went. Marsau had brought a drink for Melody, and Martel, he did not like it, so we already know how Martel feels when those two get together. But the part that I don't understand is why Tisha allows that, why she allowed that to happen. That's the part that I don't understand. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about all that right there, because to me, it was very, very questionable. Okay. So, whatever that's going on between Kiki and Tisha, they are first cousins. I'm pretty sure that, if everybody just leave it alone, I promise you that they might can work it together. Can they film together? I don't know. But I truly believe that when it comes to Kiki, I believe that she deserved a second chance. And the reason why I think that she deserved a second chance because she was humiliated. First of all, when Miss Buddy went ahead and tested her for a drug test, that was out of line because Kiki is a grown woman. Kiki is a grown woman. And I think that Kiki was used because Miss Buddy wanted, to get information. Okay. But also the sad thing about it is that you going on these bloggers and you going on these interviews, but you're talking about everybody else. Mostly you talking about Melody and Martel. That's just to show you if people is not asking anything about you, that's trying to tell you that you are not interested, you not bringing it. So no way in the world that I'm going to sit on somebody else's platform and they talking about everybody else, but they're not talking about me. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. And like I said, in here it's real talk. I'm not going to sugarcoat and tell people what they want to hear. I'm going to call it out just like I see it. And what I saw, I didn't like it. I didn't even have to watch the entire interview to know that, oh, Martel must be sitting there saying something that he ain't got no business talking about because no way in the world these overzealous melanuts would be praising him like that. No way in the world. So he must be saying something that they want to hear, okay? And that's real talk. Nikki B say, hello. Hey, Nikki, how are you doing? And that's real talk. But I like also Destiny, she was on her platform and she had other content creators that was on her platform. And after Destiny was listening to how they were talking about everybody else, then Destiny said, what are your thoughts about me? I don't want to just sit on this platform, and it's not her word exactly, but in other words, she was saying, I'm not going to just sit on this platform and you guys talking about everybody else, but you're not talking about me. So when you guys do an interview, why are you sitting there promoting and pushing somebody else and not sitting there promoting and pushing yourself? Because you guys are lost in the sauce. Nobody is really talking about you guys. It's like Dinah Ross and the backup singers. Okay? So we want to know what's going on with you guys. But I truly think when it comes to Marsau, I think that Marsau is out of line. He's out of line because, first of all, he should stay far away from this, knowing how Martel already felt about this, why he felt the need. And I know that this is a reality show. You probably said and say, well, this is a reality show. And, he's trying to, come and promote. Well, promote yourself. And if you cannot promote yourself, then you should not be on this show. Okay. And that's real talk. So they went ahead and they talked about Sonny and Moses, and he was saying, well, they are married now, which is true, but we already know about this when it comes to Sonny and Moses. Most likely these people, and like I say, all this right here is alleged for entertainment purpose only. You air it out, you are free game. So let me go ahead and put up my banner, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk about Sonny and Moses. But I think that when it comes to them two, I think all that was a plot. I think that they went ahead and they rushed to get into this marriage because they wanted to be on that show. What else? Why, so in a minute they claimed that they met each other less than 6 months. These people was married, didn't even get to know each other. And we already know that's a train wreck. We're going to talk about that tomorrow when it comes to Portia and Simon Gabati. But I'm gonna call it as it is. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I think that Tisha should put her foot down when it comes to Marsau. Marsau should not never ever go into Melody's face or any other woman's face, not without me. I think that was out of line. I don't think, even if the producers would say, okay, Martel, not Martel, Marsau and Melody, I need you guys to shoot a scene. No, I'm not going to shoot a scene without my wife. Point blank, period. That's how I see it, okay? Rachel said Marsau seems to be a little jealous of Martel. I've been noticing that in his previous comments. Yes, because I just don't understand Why is he putting fuel to the fire? And I'm also confused when it comes to those text messages or the revenge P. That part is very confusing because Martel is showing these people his receipts. He even said, ask Melody to show her receipts, what I sent to her. But everybody is you turning this into a RP video. He keeps saying it wasn't no RP video. But what is a big difference between a still picture and a video? Is a big difference, which, like I said, I'm not going to sit there and give Martel any excuse. First of all, he shouldn't have never did it. But still of all, I'm just so confused, guys. Help me. Please help me. Like I said, we are grown folks in here. We not children. But if the man keep telling everybody it's no revenge P, it's no videos, why they keep saying it's a video? Why they keep saying it's a video when the guy is showing them his text messages? Even the court sat there and charged him for text messages. They did not charge him for a video. Why? Someone make it make sense, please. Make it make sense. Hi, Rita. I see Rita is in the house. She says, Happy Sunday, Lady D. So I see, guys, I got 33 people in here. It's showing 33 because YouTube be doing me wrong, okay? They'll say, oh, this number, but then there's another number. But how many likes I got? Come on, guys, hit the like button. Come in and share these videos for more unapologetic content. In here, like I said, we want to stand on our truth. I don't care who it is. I might ride hard for these people, but like I said, I'm going to call it like it is. That's why I call myself Team Right. I'm gonna call it like it is. No way in the world someone sat there and did everything that they can possibly do to sit there and break up my marriage. And even Marsau came out and said that me and Tisha, we was about to get a divorce. Most likely for what? Because of all the stuff that these melanuts and Melody are pushing. These people been at these people marriage from day one. From day one at these people marriage. So you just can't just blame Kiki. You can't just keep blaming Kiki. You also have to blame the masterminders, the ones that's pushing the buttons. She's on there doing her job. She wanted to get on the show. And like she had said, half of the stuff that she did, she went in and did interviews talking to people. She have a lot to talk about. She have a story. She has a testimony. But what happened? Melody made it all about her because she wanted to sit there and see Tisha hurt just like she's hurting. And that's real talk, okay? Like I said, nobody mad but the devil. We're going to call it like it is in here, okay? Oh, that's good. Starbucks say we got 30. I see 41 now, but 22. Come on, guys. Make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Nikki B say the show is going down. I saw another CC that Nell's son got arrested. Yeah, I saw that as well, but we already know when it comes to Nell. And like I said with Nell also is the one that's kissing the ring. Nell Fletcher does not have to kiss the ring because Nell, you have a storyline, girl. Wake up. Wake up. You have a storyline. You don't even have to be a part of Love and Marriage in Huntsville. What you and your husband should do is do a spinoff. Get with Carlos King and a network and see if you guys can do a spinoff. Because you guys got a story. You got a story, okay? Thank you, Rita. Rita say hit the like button. Yes, indeed. Nikki B said, did anyone notice how they kept trying to insulate that Marsau got booked at midnight? The time was 13:50. Oh, she must be in the military. Yeah. That was 12 o'clock. Yes. Absolutely. And that was horrible. I saw this morning now big old news networks and pick it up now. Maurice he done got arrested. Like I said, these people have to realize that you guys sign your life on a reality show for the entire world to pick it apart. So it's certain things that you used to do, you can't do it anymore because the entire world is watching, which I'm pretty sure, that's how I feel in the spirit. I feel in the spirit that now that he's filing all these lawsuits against these content creators, these people, they'll go to hell and high water to stalk you, and maybe they probably call the police. Maurice came in his car, and I promise you, he's going to leave out drunk, or he not, if he's not drunk, he been drinking, and most likely they gave the cops, and that's my opinion, gave them heads up and saying that this man been drinking and going to get behind the wheel. Anything to sit there and try to sabotage these people. That's why I say they got to be harmless as a dove and wise as a snake. Okay. So also the way it is. Oh, okay. That's new. I never remember saying that. The way it is. You absolutely right. The way that it is. She said, glad you step up, honey. And here is real talk, unapologetic and non-biased. I ain't got time to tickle nobody ears. I'm gonna say it like it is, okay? And that's real talk, unapologetic, okay? Nikki B say these melanuts are fanatics. Yes, they are. They are overzealous, out of control fans. And I think that if anything, they should go ahead and ice out Melody, because Melody, like I said, she can denounce that anytime. But no, she's gonna fan the fire because she think what they are doing good, especially when they doing her bidding. But I promise you, when they turn on her, she gonna wish that she went ahead and dismantled that. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna call it like it is. Okay, so when it comes to Kiki, I think that Kiki, I think she had got a bad rap. I think she got a bad rap because I'm the type of person, and I have a good spirit of discernment. I have a good spirit of discernment. I don't go by of what comes out of a person's mouth, because cheek and tongue will say anything. If the heart is right, and I can see that her heart is right, it's just that she made some bad decisions. And she figured, that if she can come on this show just like everybody else, when you go on the reality show, half of these people, is not about that life. They trying to come up just like everybody else. She got a lot to talk about. This girl can write a book and talk about her story. And she's very educated. This girl is not a dummy. She ain't just a elementary school teacher. This girl is a professor. So we're not going to dummy down nobody's degree, okay? Especially when it comes to their education, okay? So let me see what else I can say about this hyenas, because every time when he sat there and he talked about Melody, it looked like, he just lights up. So let's see what else I wrote down. Martel actions. He talked about Martel actions, and he talked about the revenge porn, and he said that it had crossed the line. And that's the part where I'm saying it's just so it's so confusing, because Martel's saying that it was never a video. It was never a video. So why they don't just correct it? Why, like I said, they can take Melody's word as face value, but when Martel say something, then they got something to say. But if you guys are trying to ice out Martel, then you might as well just shut the entire show down, unless you guys come together as an ensemble cast and ice out Melody. That's the only way, because Martel belongs in Huntsville. Martel was friends before you guys even knew a Melody. Melody already got something that she's working with. Melody got her own streaming network. She got Nubian. So it's no love lost. That's why she can come on and do and say whatever she wants. Because if Love and Marriage shut down, I'm pretty sure that she's going to focus on what she's got on this network. So the best thing for these people to do is come together knowing that Melody and Martel most likely will never ever work again, because like I said, once a snake is always going to be a snake. You fool me once, you're not going to fool me twice. And anytime when you start getting these palm people involved in your business, I have nothing to do with you, because I don't think that Melody should have went and took it that far and got this man arrested. Okay. So let me see what else was going on. So Marcel, he talked about Martel should go ahead and take the high road, which he should. Some of the stuff, I'm not going to tell you no lie, some of the stuff that Marcel was talking about, it made sense. But what I don't like about it is that you shouldn't have never went to a blogger. I don't care if it was Callers King platform. You shouldn't have never went to a blogger and talked about this, because you guys are not getting paid going to these bloggers. You guys getting paid when it comes on this show. So why don't these people take all that mess that they got on these bloggers and social media? Why they don't take it on the show? That's why the numbers are so low. That's why the numbers are so low. Because all the excitement, all the drama is way away from this show. Make it make sense. Now, some of the things, like I said, yeah, Martel could handle things certain ways, but Martel was sitting there saying, I tried, but every time when I tried, it's like one thing after the other. And I kind of understand what he's talking about, because you telling me to take the high road, but this girl is messing up my brand. Every time when I'm working on something, her and the Melonuts is sitting there calling these people, trying to shut things down. So what do you want this man to do? It's like he's fighting, it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's like a weight is on this man's shoulder. What do you want this man to do? And you telling this guy he need to just take the high road. But these people are going out their way to make this man life a living hell. And now we already know. And like I said, I'm not going to say, what he did was right. No, it wasn't wrong. It wasn't right. It was wrong. But also, you guys just keep pulling up all Martel wrongs, but you taking melodies and you sweeping it under the rug. All we just sitting there saying, just let both of them take accountability. Melody did some stuff as well. And even Nell said the same thing. Melody did some things, but it's just that Mel stuff is not going to be aired out. Her dirty laundry is not going to be aired out. Mel did some stuff. Why Nell didn't come out and say, I remember when they had a fight at my house, how Melody took a wine glass and threw it at Martel's head. Why Nell didn't talk about that? Nell and her husband, Chris Fletcher, they were right there on the scene when that happened. Well, why they never talked about that? That happened at Nell and Chris Fletcher's home, when Nell took a glass and she threw at this man's head. Nobody shouldn't be touching nobody. Why Nell don't talk about stuff like that? Right there, that was DV. And notice, I was watching Stormy's live with the content creators. And Destiny's. I was watching Destiny live. Make sure I put their names right, because I'm bad with names. But I was watching Destiny live with the content creators. And Destiny, she brought up DV. She wanted to talk more about domestic abuse, because she says she actually went through that. But notice, out of the 7 seasons, Love and Marriage in Huntsville was aired. Not one time Miss Buddy ever talked about DV. So if Miss Buddy was going through the hell that she say she was going through when it came to her and Martel, why she never made herself the face of DV? See, like I said in here, we are critical thinkers. We're not going to sit there and go wherever the wind is blowing. We're going to start thinking for ourselves. Why all the stuff that you guys saying that Miss Buddy went through, why not one time she made herself the face of DV? Because she can't. She can't. Because if anything, it was the other way around because we got all the clips. We got all the scenes. Just like she told Dr. Heavenly, Martel never put his hands on her. But does it make it right for her to put her hands on him? See, you guys don't want to, y'all don't want to hear this. Y'all not ready to hear this. Nikki B says, more drama behind the scene. I thought CK and Melody and the Melometers have destroyed the show. Those Melonuts are focused on content that is not on the show. They started all this mess. Absolutely. And that's why I'm on Marsau's tail. Because why is Marsau giving these people something to feed off, knowing that these people are bottom feeders? He called them deplorables. Well, you know that they are. Why are you feeding these people? You didn't have to sit there and come on a blogger's platform and just to talk about what Martel doing. You could have talked about yourself. What you and Tisha are doing. The man is already down. Dang. What do you guys want to see this man? You want to see this man bleed out? Make it make sense, guys. And like I said, I can't sugarcoat. And that's where I say when it comes to Tisha need to sit there and say, no, go to whoever you need to go to. My husband is not filming with Melody nor any other women producers because we know how these people roll. Every time when Melody is in Marsau face, she throwing slick jabs about his wife. And he felt like, oh, I'm exempt. I'm exempt. Let's look at this right here. Let's look at this right here. I don't know if I deleted it or not. Probably deleted it. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. When he would have came home, I would have sat there and trust me, I would have smacked the back of that head. Because no way in the world that Marsau should have been in Melody's face. For what? What he is? Captain Save-A-Ho? Like I said there and say, guys, unless you living in are you living in a glass house? If you live in a glass house, you can't throw no rocks unless you ready for Martel to sit there and pulling out dead bodies. Because I'm pretty sure that Martel knows exactly where the dead bodies are. You know? You guys been rolling and hanging together for a very, very long time. You guys are close friends. So why he wants to even go that route? Like I say, when it comes to fame and fortune, guys, it is addiction. But I would never, ever lose my soul for these few crumbs because I know good and well these people is not making that much money for me to sit there and throw my good friends under the bus. And that's real talk, okay? The way it is says, I think they're trying to bring Ariane on the show. Might be. If Marsau is keep going around poking the bear while this man is already down, and we already know when it comes to Martel reacts in a totally different way. So, okay, Martel probably sat there and say, you want to stay in my business? You want to keep going around Melody and discussing my business? Oh, no, that's your friend. No, that's your friend. No, that's your friend. Going back and forth like it's children. Like this man got some kind of leprosy on him. Like he's full of disease. Oh, no, that's your friend. That's my friend. My God. The man was locked up. And then the thing about it, Marsha sat there and say, because the children going to see it. But the way that he put it, as if because of what Martel had did. What about what Melody did? You don't think that the children going to see that as well, as she making songs reacting about how she abused her husband? So you don't think that the children going to grow up and putting two and two together? Got these children while they babies dancing to these trauma bonding songs? Why nobody talked about that? Why nobody talked about how Miss Buddy got her children out of the bed to go out there and spy on her husband, just to sit there and have a storyline to talk about that? Why nobody talk about how the producers was pitting the children against their parents? Who you favor the most? Do you favor your mom or you favor your dad? Why nobody talked about all the stuff that Martel went through that laid him to what he did? You keep poking the bear. Keep sitting there setting fire to a boiling pot and see the reaction. This man is human just like everybody else. This man bleeds just like everybody else. This man hurts like everybody else. He watching everybody else making business, making money off of his name. Off of his name. Like I said there and say, somebody got to say enough is enough. And that's real talk, That's why I said there and say, I ride alone, guys. I ride alone because you don't know how, like I said, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to tell it like I said. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm a fan to this person, so I got to say this. No, I'm going to say it like it is. Just like somebody got on me this morning and saying, oh, I thought you go for people that's struggling. And you talking about Portia squatting in Simon Gabadia's house. Yes, I sat there and said that. Because first of all, Portia sat there, she went in this man's marriage knowing that this man was already with someone and covered these people blessings, wanted what this woman got. So don't think that I'm not going to call Portia out just because I say I like Portia. But I don't know these people. I don't know these people from a can of paint. These people ain't putting no money in my pocket. And even if they put money in my pocket, I'm still going to stand on my truth. That's the bottom line, okay? The way it is says, why have all them got arrested? I think it's someone in the county in Huntsville. Yes, because these people are stalking these people. These people are out to sit there and sabotage these people, thinking that it's going to make Miss Buddy look good. But what the ones that getting arrested, that's petty. That's misdemeanor. But what Miss Buddy did, that was first degree assault, arson. You playing with fire, threaten a person over money. What you think would have happened? What do you think would have happened if Martel would have taken those clips to the DA? What do you think would have happened? She wouldn't have went to jail. They wouldn't have had on her booking sheet a misdemeanor. They would have had a felony, a first degree felony. And he still can file charges. But the thing about it is that nobody wants to talk about stuff like this. Oh, everybody went to jail except Miss Buddy. The reason why Miss Buddy did not go in front of the court because Martel was a man and he spared her. That's why, okay? Like I say, tell the truth and shame the devil. Also, the way it is says, why do everyone turn a blind eye? Because the reason why we turn a blind eye because we live in a world that love his own. Just like with Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly, she's a straight shooter. Dr. Heavenly, she gonna call it like it is and don't care who don't like it. But when she saw how these melanuts start coming down on her, she starts changing stories. She starts switching. You're going to sit there and you're going to call Martel out, but you're not going to call Melody out. Like I said, the love of fame and fortune is addiction, but it's all going to come to an end. It's going to come to an end, okay? Rachel said, Marsau seems like he want more attention and and the only way he can get it on through bashing Martel. Yes. And that's why he came on that trauma bonding bandwagon. He could have stayed his ball mouth at his house. And I'm sorry for getting low, but because, like I say, nowhere in the world that these people should take nobody's energy. But we all can take a piece out of this. We all can take a piece out of this because we all been through it. But I'm talking to grown people. I'm not talking to children. No way in the world that I would sell my soul just to sit there and put on a minstrel show, because that's all it is, a minstrel show, a circus with a bunch of clowns. A circus with a bunch of clowns. And how the heck you going to sit there and throw rocks at Martel as if you don't live in a glass house as well? What if Martel start throwing rocks at your house? And I'm pretty sure that he could. And I don't want to see more families falling apart, because when it comes to these reality shows, it stereotypes black families. But also, like I said, you guys can't sit there keep poking a bear while a bear is already down. That bear is going to bite back. And when he start perking you back, you're not going to like it. What goes around comes around. And I know this is a reality show. Oh, we're just doing this for a reality show. I know that. But when people are start getting arrested, people are going to jail, it's not worth it. It's not. And that's what I'm talking about. Now, if it was like, all the other little reality shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta and, them other reality shows, they say what they need to say and they move on. They go about their regular lives. But with Love and Marriage in Huntsville, it's totally different. Totally different. That's most likely why Carlos King, he would rather talk about other shows on other networks and not talk about what's going on in his own house, because he know that this show right here have taken a toll, had taken a turn of its own. It's out of control. These people are out of control. Out of control. The way it is says the entire cast is siding with Mel. Absolutely. They're going to side wherever the money is going. Wherever the money is going, they're going to side. But it's going to come to an end. Nobody's not going to watch that, because people are so heavily invested in this show. Nobody is not going to watch nothing that is authentic. They're not going to watch stuff that is fake. It got to be real. Especially when it comes to this show right here. It got to be real. The scenes when we see Kimmy and Tisha with Melody, it looks so fake, because you guys said there did so much to each other. And all of a sudden, when the season air again, you guys filming as if nothing ever happened. You guys was throwing jabs, trying to sit there and sabotage each other's marriage. And now you guys got that kumbaya moment. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. Nikki B says, Lady D, you are right. It's becoming a minstrel show. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bunch of clowns in a circus. A bunch of clowns in the circus because they wants to hold on to this Saint Melody. They wants to hold on to her, knowing this girl chop you guys down every chance that she gets. Don't invite you guys to nothing unless it's something that she can get out of it. When she had this little creepy ceremony trying to denounce her last name, we thought she was moving on. When she didn't invite none of them to that ceremony. She didn't invite Marsau. She didn't invite Kimmy, Tisha, none of them. She had her extras to come on there. People we couldn't even identify. So right there, when she do something that she feel to get her piece, she's not going to invite you guys because she think that you guys are a part of all the drama. But yet you guys keep bamming on the door, let me in, like some hungry vultures. Make it make sense, guys. And then here's real talk, unapologetic and non-biased. Like I said there and say, honey, I'm not going to sit there and be biased. I'm going to call it like it is. I'm going to call it like it is, okay? Linda Young said the fact Mel made when Letitia was saying she wanted to be home with her kids versus work. It's obvious that Mel don't like none of them. She was just doing a requirement for her job. Absolutely. And it's like they shun when Tisha always talks about, being home or with her children. What's wrong with that? That's a full-time job. She can be home if she wants. Tisha already got not 2 degrees, she got 3 degrees. She got 2 masters and 1 bachelor's. And that's going to always be something that no man can take away. So if she wants to raise her children until, they are capable of, doing things for themselves, but she got little small children. Most likely they are very active in their sports and things going on in school. She wants to be a part of that. She don't want to be like, i.e. Miss Buddy, because I already talked about stuff like that. These children only going to remember the smaller things. Those kids is not going to remember how you came home from Lord knows where for days and weeks and coming home and showering them with gifts and red bottoms. Those kids are not going to remember all that materialistic stuff. But the children going to remember when mom sat there, went to my school event, when mom was home and cooked us a hot meal, when mom was home to read to us, help us with our homework and tuck us in our beds. Those are the things that the kids going to remember. But they're not going to remember all this other stuff that you think that, they eat good food. They get to sit there and wear designer clothes. Those kids are not going to remember that. They're not going to remember that. And I just hope that Tisha will sit there and she will know her worth. Like I said, you are the only one that's really got something going on besides Kimmy and the rest of them. We talking about attorneys. We talking about nurses. We talking about people that got master degree in business. We're not talking about no average person that sat there was supposed to be an elementary school teacher. And I'm not frowning on those school teachers, okay? But like I said, a school teacher, especially when they are in elementary school teacher, they should be able to, teach small kids. They should be like the foundation, setting the foundation. But these people, my God, now I see why kids, and I'm not just saying Miss Buddy, I'm just talking in general, okay? But I see why children are dropping out from school to the prison pipeline, because look who we got teaching them. Look who we got teaching them. And that's real talk, guys. So, like I said, in here is real talk, unapologetic, non biased, only grown folks. If you can't stand the heat, then you get out the kitchen. My commentary is not for everybody. I'm not going to sugarcoat just because I'm team this, I'm team that. Not one time you ever said I was team anybody. Always say, and I'm always going to stand on my word, I am team right. So in here, like I said, is real talk, grown folks. If you can't stand the heat, then hey, this might not be the channel for you. Rachel says, I think Kimmy and Tisha were forced to film with Miss Buddy. Well, like I said, that forcing needs to stop, because all they're doing, just like Martel said, and after that, I'm done. Only time they only doing that just to make Melody look good. So when they are forced to film with Melody, because nobody else she got to film with her, so they forcing every cast to film with Melody in order to make her look good, okay? Because we already know it's just going to backfire on them anyway, okay? But Rachel says, I think Kimmy and Tisha were forced to film with Miss Buddy because no one else. Absolutely. Well, Stormy can't afford to say she is not going to do it. The rest of the cast have to kiss the ring to keep their job. Absolutely. And I like Lily say, I like real talk. Thank you, Lily. Thank you very, very much. Like I sat there and said, I don't know these people from a can of paint. And even if I know them, just like if it was my children, if my children do something wrong, I'm going to call my children out. My children might not even like me either, because I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm going to call it like it is. When I went through hell and back with all the stuff that I went through, did anybody sit there and gave me a pat on the back, a slap on the wrist? No. I had to go through the process. So if nobody sat there gave me a cut, I ain't getting nobody else a cut. I had to go through the process, okay? So like I said, I ain't got time to sit there and tickle nobody's ears, okay? So Kimmy said, yeah, kiss the ring. And thank you very much, Lily. Nikki says, male haters on Tisha because she envious of her lifestyle. They hate on Tisha. Yes, they hate on Tisha. And now it making me come across, is she sleeping with the enemy? Is she sleeping with the enemy? We're going to talk about that some more. Because Tisha already told Marsau about going in Melody's face. Martel already told Marsau about going in Melody's face. And I'm not saying that Tisha is insecure. But the thing about it, we know the slick stuff that Melody tried to do. Melody tried to do everything, even say hiring and people to come on the show to say that she messed with Marsau. So why would you want to sit there and put your husband in the lion's den? Marsau think he's smart, but you are not smart at all, because you don't know how those Jezebel spirits roll, okay? You don't know what this woman could sit there and try to pull out of her hat, knowing she don't have a storyline without Martel, because we know that with her and Martel right now, that's it. She can't keep beating on this dead horse, because if I was Martel, and I'm going to close on this right here, but if I was Martel, I would get my attorneys and say she could never, ever mention my name, even sit there and say anything that's close to mention my name on that show ever again. And if she do, then that's when you're going to open the door for Ariane Curry, because like I say, Ariane Curry is her 2-bit change, and that's real talk, okay? So Liz say, you are right. Those kids would not remember gifts and stuff. They'll never forget the one who spent time with them. Absolutely. You know it. You know it. Like I said, they say, you know, we only can call it out like it is. You can't sit there and buy love. You can't buy love, okay? All you're doing is sitting there making trauma bonding kids. It's time to break those generation of curses. But it's sad when the children more mature. The children act more mature than the Grown-ups. That's sad. Grandma Moochie says they may have to film to earn their coins, but like I say, what's the purpose of gaining the entire world and losing a soul? Losing your daggone soul. You can never build a solid foundation off of material possession. That's like building a house on sinking sand. And that's real talk. So, guys, thank you for coming in. Thank you for spending your day with me. Again, happy blessed Sunday. In here is real talk, unapologetic, non-biased. All this right here is for entertainment purpose only. You air it out, you are free game. And that's real talk. So, you guys enjoy the rest of your day and be blessed.